This video is about making thieves oil in the 21st century. Back in the 1300s, Europe and other parts of the world experienced something they called the Black Death, which was basically an outbreak of bubonic plague caused by rats coming off ships. In places like Paris, as many as 50% of the population died from this plague. Some of these people, of course, were well-to-do, and they were either wearing or possessed fabulous jewels. These, of course, were a target for thieves. The problem being that robbing plague victims also exposed the thieves to the plague, so you could die trying to get rich. Now, it may be partly mythical, but there is a story to the effect that there were 4 thieves who had some knowledge of herbal medicine, and they decided to use this knowledge to protect themselves. Specifically, they knew that many herbs had antibacterial properties, and they decided they could use these properties to protect themselves. So perhaps they made vinegar, perhaps they made oil, but somehow they managed to take the health protecting ingredients out of these herbs into something that they smeared on their bodies or took internally, and that was called 4 thieves oil. Now, we're not living in a time like plague because we are not seeing people dying in the streets. The current commercial version of thieves oil is now called 4 bandits because of copywriting issues, but this is not cheap. Here I found on the web an advertisement for a ½ ounce of this for $8. And I seem to recall paying quite a bit less than that for a 1 ounce jar. And when I went to Rainbow Foods the last time trying to buy something, it was out of stock. And so I decided that I would see if I could make my own. And here is what I am making, which is a quart jar stuffed full of herbs and then left to sit in the sun for about 5 weeks at this point in time. And I expect that this may yield as much as 16 ounces of finished oil. And, you know, if you had to go out and buy that, it might cost as much as $250. So the oil I'm making has a base of olive oil. It has oregano, sage, rosemary, lavender, garlic, and fennel seed and cinnamon. Fennel seed may be of interest in the COVID situation because some people say that what comes off fennel seed is something called shikaric acid, which specifically targets the spike proteins that are associated with the COVID situation. As to how I will use this, I will probably use it topically on my hands and my feet and my chest. Since it is oil and since it has all these antimicrobial things, it might be safe to use it internally, but I'm not sure that I will.